You're obviously not for democracy.
Why would you say that?
I just get that feeling.
You didn't even ask anything about me to know.
I know.
Why would I be against democracy?
I don't know. You tell me. All we want is to kill all the babies. That's it.
What's up, YouTube? It's your Huckleberry here, back with another Kaitlin Bennett reaction video. Man, she really finds the cream of the crop, doesn't she? These people, just total decay of society. What they advocate for and what they'll push just so they can be anti-Trump or anti-whatever. It's really astonishing. But anyway, guys, so we're going to get into this video that Kaitlin's got for us here, because she's super entertaining and calling out the bullshit. So without further ado, let's go.
Look at her shirt. We're asking people to grade Donald Trump on a scale of A through F. What letter would you give him?
F.
An F? And what about you, sir?
An F.
An F? Why would you give him an F?
Because I hate just about everything he's done since he entered office.
Okay.
He has completely alienated America from everybody else. He has cut all the aid not only to the rest of the world but also to Americans.
He's cut all the aid?
Yes. Well, pretty much. Let me put it.
Why do we need to aid the whole world? Most of those countries that have been taking advantage of us in taxes and tariffs themselves.
This way, it's not like it was. So.
Okay. In what ways is it different?
I feel less free because he is in the White House.
Okay. In what ways? What freedoms of yours have been stripped away that you feel less free?
It's just the main feeling because we don't, I don't do anything that, and I'm not threatened by my neighbors or anything. There's just a general feeling everywhere I go, especially when I'm wearing a shirt like this. I get picked off by whoever voted for Trump. That's who I'll call them. And they don't like it. They laugh or they just go, oh, you get one of these. So that happens a lot.
I mean, people are at least willing to talk and like socialize with you. Like the shirt that Kaitlin's wearing right now, that Charlie Kirk shirt, I try to wear that downtown in Portland. Are you kidding me? Like I'll probably get egged and beat up. This woman's argument is completely asinine. Doesn't make any sense.
Well, could you avoid that for yourself if it really bothers you that much
I
by
don't
not
care.
wearing? Oh, okay.
That's the thing.
Well,
That's the thing.
okay.
I'm a Democrat all the way, 100%,
Sure,
and
yeah.
I'm going to be till I die.
Okay.
So, and I know right now Democrats have a lot of problems. We need to get rid of Schumer.
I mean, and that's part of the problem. She's telling you she's going to be a Democrat to the day she dies. Even if they push and support the most ridiculous things possible, you're still going to be like, you got to be open-minded. There's a reason that Elon went from left to right. There's a reason that Tulsi Gabbard went from left to right. There's a reason that I went from left to right. There's a reason, and that's because these ideologies and these narratives that are pushed sometimes aren't right. They're not for the greater good. And just because 20 years ago it might have been the other way, or you might thought it was the other way, like I remember being in the Al Gore camp 25 years ago thinking, oh, that's terrible, that's going to be terrible. But so her statement where she's going to be this no matter what, that's part of the problem. You got to be willing to hear and react, and you can't just stick your flag on one side and be till the end of time saying, oh, no matter what, I'm going to be on their side. Because you don't know what's going to happen in the future. You don't know what that side's going to be like. I remember back in the mid-90s when my stepdad and my mom were talking about Clinton and who they were going to vote for and all that kind of stuff. It was like this open debate. And one was on one side and one might have been on the other. And I think ultimately it came down to they voted for whichever one was better for their small business that they owned. You got to realize when one side is more beneficial than the other side, even if the less beneficial side is where you put your flag 20 years ago.
Why do you say that?
At least he's too old. Just like Donald Trump's too old.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this. Do you think Mom Donnie winning was a good thing?
Sure, for New York City, I think it was a great thing.
Yeah. So he wants to
Oh my
legalize
God.
prostitution. Do you think that's okay?
It's fine with me.
Okay.
I'm not doing it. No one I know is doing it. It's. You know what? It's okay with me. I'd rather.
Wouldn't that be more or less kind of the decay of society? In Portland, you just do whatever drugs you want. And like you just want to legalize prostitution. All these like terrible vices that are ripping down society, as opposed to like raising them properly or teaching them properly, saying like this is just wrong and more bad comes of this than good. Rampant drug use is not good for society. Look at these places where you see that, and the homeless and just the rundown, the poverty and things like that. And think about legalizing prostitution on a broad scale. For women to fight for equality and not being objectified and things like that, but then to turn around and being like, oh, whole range prostitution is fine. That seems a bit hypocritical to me.
Rather have it that way than the way it is now, with women being killed when they're doing, undercover prostitution, and
The fuck is that?
it would probably be safer for everyone.
If prostitution was legalized?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when prostitution is legalized, it allows avenues for that activity.
I know, to go into things like sex trafficking,
Yeah.
which also reminds me of Donald Trump because of the Epstein files.
Right. Well, he's not the one wanting to legalize prostitution in
I know he's not.
America's
But you know
biggest
what?
city.
I think if he could, he would. But
Well,
see,
you
that
would
wouldn't
do
look
it
good on
too.
his base.
Well, you can't.
What is this default to the Epstein files about Trump? Epstein was first convicted back in '08. Everybody knew he had connections back then. There was no Obama investigation into this. And then even after 18 comes around, Biden had 4 years in office. There was no dissemination of any kind of facts there. I get it that like there's high-ranking people pulling strings and making it difficult for whoever to release any information about Epstein, but it's like a natural default. There's all these facts that point to where like, yeah, Trump knew Epstein back in the day, but he also complied with the FBI, kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago. Like he did plenty of things like 15, 20 years ago to condemn Epstein. So to default, like I get it if it was solely pointing at him, but if her flag's been planted on the Democratic side for so long, like it also points at Clinton, who they're having those hearings with. They don't show up. So I don't understand like the argument. Oh, Epstein, Trump's bad because of Epstein. That's such a stretch for me to like get on that bandwagon. And even then, pick your poison, so to speak. Like the Democratic side they're not putting up anything any better. Love them or hate them, there are things that Trump is doing for the good of America. In closing the borders and deporting criminals is one of them. He's good for business. This TDS thing, it's so defeating. And it's tired to listen to this argument all the time. Come up with something that's legit, that makes sense.
Blame Trump for that because you just said you would believe in it too.
I believe in it. That doesn't mean I'm going to do it.
Okay. So back to the freedoms question. How do you feel less free? What freedoms have been stripped from you?
One, the freedom of us going to be going to a foreign country. I don't really want to let people know we're Americans, but I guess I can't help it.
So what freedom, what right is that?
It's fear. It's general fear in your overall life, okay? I'm worried about some of the people that live around me because of ICE. I don't know if they're illegal. I don't care.
Then why are you worried about them?
Any problems? Because it could happen. Because it has all over the country.
Are you profiling maybe people with brown skin?
No, I'm not.
Okay, because you said you don't know if they're illegal or not, but you're worried for them. Why would you be worried for those people?
Anybody of color in this country is under attack and has been.
What proof do you have for that?
Not just this year, but,
What proof do you have for that?
Systemic racism.
Okay.
End it.
Where do we see systemic
everywhere.
racism? Okay.
Oh, really? We're in Lakeland, Florida, the good old boy network of the world.
I see more racism towards white people nowadays than anything. I get it where things have been tough on people of color in the past, but DEI alone is racist.
Everything is done by the patriarchal figures that are in this town and have been for years. So
Okay.
I've lived here my whole life. I know what it's like to be in Lakeland and to live here and be surrounded by about 1980 mostly Republicans. Before that, it wasn't.
Okay.
It was pretty evenly split. But as soon as like Newt Gingrich and all that crap came in, all that started, and
Okay. Because
so,
just a little bit of feedback.
So you're obviously not. I mean, for democracy, you're.
Why would
obviously
you
for
say
Trump.
that?
I just get that feeling.
You didn't even ask anything about me to know.
I know.
Why would I be against democracy?
I don't know. You tell me.
You made that claim. Why would you assume that?
Because I think you voted for Trump. That's
Why
all
would
I
you
need
say
to
that?
know. What? I
Just because I'm
think
pushing
you
back on
did.
what the things you say? Well, just
I
some
just think you
feedback. When you say that you feel less
I don't really
free.
want your feedback if you want to know the truth, because I'm not interested.
I know.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I'm done.
And that's part of the problem. There's no talking. They're just going to yap about their points, and then there's no discussion, there's no feedback. I don't want to hear what you have to say. It could be the most logical shit possible, and they're not going to want to hear it because of TDS or because of whatever on that side. And that's what the problem is. That's the problem with this country right now. There's no open debates. There's no conversation. You know, I mean, this woman hasn't gone like full crazy, but like, you know, with the yelling and the attacking and all that. But like, that's what's happening in a majority of situations where there's not a camera and you try to talk to somebody. When there's a camera, then they're going to try to behave a little bit, or at least some of them will. But like, most of the time, you can't have open dialogue unless it's somebody that was already your friend. And even in a lot of those situations, you lose friends just by speaking up what you want. Like, how many of you guys out there watching this, leave in the comments below, just be like me, totally me, where somebody on the left is in like your Facebook feed or your Instagram feed, and they're always posting like, you know, these narratives and these things about ICE or whatever, and you don't even want to push back, you don't want to comment on it, you sure as heck don't want to put anything in your own reel or your own post or, you know, your own feed or anything, because you care about your friends and you don't want to lose them over something so stupid. But like, how many of them don't even care? And so that's also part of the problem, unfortunately, is that like not a lot of people on the right want to speak up as much as the people on the left want to yell. And it's clearly that there's more people on the right because of look who's in office. Look at all the red, you know, all over the country. More people have to speak up, but I understand and sympathize with people on the right who just don't want to say anything. They're going to let their vote speak, do everything, and they know that what the media pushes is bullcrap, and they know like a lot of these people, like this woman here that's acting like this, they don't agree with what she's saying, but they don't want to speak back on it for fear of just retribution, just getting canceled, so to speak, you know, whether it's canceled on a high stage or it's just canceled in your social circle, you know. And that's really sad, and it feeds that divisiveness, unfortunately, because that just makes the left want to yell more, and it's really sad.
Now, so thank you very much.
So if
Yeah.
you're less free,
Like I said, I'm done now.
if
Thank you very
you're
much.
kind of just rooting things in feelings, I've not heard one freedom that's actually been taken from you at all.
Freedom from fear.
You don't have a freedom from
what?
fear. Do you know where that
what?
is in the
You know what?
Constitution?
Franklin Roosevelt said the 10 freedoms that the freedoms that we have. That was one of them, freedom from fear. I didn't feel it until Trump.
So this woman was done when Kaitlin wanted to like say anything back to her, and she just walks away. But then when she has something to say, she turns back around and starts chirping back into the mic. Like, you see what the problem is? Like, she's not even trying to be somewhat receptive and even give Kaitlin the decency of to listen to what she's saying, in fear that like there might be something in there that just like shatters her belief. It's so sad.
Got elected both times.
Okay.
That's it.
Any constitutional rights? You don't have a constitutional right from fear, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a personal thing.
There's a thing about pursuit of happiness and all that stuff, so
Yeah, but you don't.
Maybe you.
Also, there is the right to life, which I have a feeling you do not support either. So, if we're going to talk about the pursuit of happiness, she's coming back.
If men could get abortions, there'd be one clinic on every corner.
You know what? I can't even.
Yeah.
They're
Why
just
can't men get
oppressing
abortions?
Women. I don't know. You asked.
Yeah. Why can't men get abortions?
Let's ask media. Let's
Yeah,
ask
because
media.
they're not
Let's ask
women,
medical
right?
Fields.
Yeah. But your party loves to try and say that men can be women.
Right. You are right, 100%.
Oh my goodness, I love Kaitlin. She's so quick with it, quick to the point of like just switching it up on this lady. And again, this lady's gonna walk away because she doesn't want to. She doesn't want to hear that argument because she knows she's wrong.
Thank you.
All we want is to kill all the babies. That's it.
You
I
do?
have 2 babies of my own. You think I wanted to kill them? No. You know what? I didn't.
Okay.
And
Abortion
you don't
is
have
murder.
to have an abortion if you don't want one.
Right.
And that is true in this country, at least
Just
for
get your
now.
finger out of my face, though. So, do you admit abortion is murder? She just admitted that abortion is murder. She said, we want to kill all the babies. Then came over and said, well, if you don't want an abortion, you don't need to have one. Well, I'm glad that they're starting to admit it. That also just kind of puts out how radical they've always been, but they've been hiding it.
All right, guys. Well, there you have it. Kaitlin, boots on the ground in Florida at the farmers market. I appreciate you coming through and watching this Kaitlin Bennett video with me. Stay tuned. We'll have more videos coming. So hopefully you were entertained a little bit. We'll see you next time. You're Daisy if you do. Peace.